So I've made some tools that hopefully help make home educators' workflow a bit easier, and I'm constantly coming up with new ideas and new tools that we can use to build our curriculums, build our workflow, just streamline things. And the first one, and probably the most popular one, is the lesson plan generator. So this allows you to put a subject, your subject of choice, it's autofilling with science, the grade, and the language. So this is the output language. So if you don't speak English, you want your plan itself to be in another language, you can choose one from the list. And the educational standards. So we are going to add some more standards to the list, but we've got some of the more common ones: EYFS, Common Core, and so on, national curriculum, the European Framework of Reference for Languages, all of the, I won't say all, but we have a good range of curriculums that you can choose from. So National Curriculum of England. So it does say grade, but do not worry too much about this. When you select your educational standard, it's going to assume you mean the grade of that thing. So for example, if we were doing Common Core state standards, grade 3 would be grade 3, US grade 3. Now, if you selected the national curriculum, if you wanted year 3, you wouldn't now need to change it to grade 4 to get it. I get them mixed up myself, but what I'm saying is, if your child is in year 3, leave it as grade 3, because it's going to look at the national curriculum and assume that's what you mean. So I'm going to generate, and it's very fast. So science, grade 3, year 3. So 45-minute lesson plan, and there's the learning objective. By the end of this lesson, students will be able to identify different types of rocks and understand how they are formed. And it gives you the materials needed. And then, for some reason, this is on the same line, but there's the lesson plan. So it's broken it up for you. You've got the introduction, types of rocks, how rocks are formed, rock identification activity, conclusion, the assessment. And then it's showing you that it's considered the educational standard that you've chosen. So this aligns with the national curriculum for English science program by introducing students to basic concepts about rocks and geological processes. It helps develop scientific knowledge and understanding through hands-on exploration and observation. Very simple, and you can just hit download to save that as a text file. Another tool we've got is the learning style assessment, and this is just to figure out your child's learning style. It's very simple. So this is a multiple choice questionnaire. Once you've selected the answers, give any additional notes if you want to mention. If your child has any special needs, you can mention anything like that and get the results. And again, it's going to give you a personalized response. And another tool is the book idea tool, which is probably my favorite tool because it's so simple, but it just does what you need it to do. So if your child is interested in a specific subject, let's go with geology. And let's go with 9. It's going to give you a list, not just the list, but the links to the specific pages of the books. Very, very specific. So age appropriate and interest appropriate. This is awesome if your child is into a very specific thing and you want to find all the best books on that subject. Keep in mind that if you choose something like age 5, there's not always going to be like a picture book that's best for them. So it would give you a book that you could read to a child. So still age appropriate, but assuming that your child can't read the book themselves. Whereas if they're a bit older, it's going to give you books that are written for children to read. So rock collecting for kids, National Geographic Kids, everything rocks and minerals, geology lab, rockets and minerals. So it gives you very, very specific book selections. And then if you hit check it out, it's going to take you over to that page. Keep in mind, these are affiliate links. So at no extra cost to you, if you do buy a book through clicking on one of these links, then I will get a small commission. That just helps me build the page, helps me build more tools. Again, no cost, no extra cost to you. Another tool we've got is the science experiment generator, another one of my favorites, because again, it's a simple concept, but when you have, what does it say? Yes. When you have some time, you're at home and you've got some stuff in your kitchen, you've got baking soda, you've got food coloring, flour, I don't know. You can really tell it what you want. I've not tried using things that are not kitchen stuff, so like batteries or like a broken toy. Let's actually try that. So let's say we've got lithium batteries. I don't know if you're allowed to do an experiment. I think it might be quite dangerous, but let's just do it anyway. Lithium batteries. What do I have? I have some. I don't know what I could give it to get it to do an ad hoc physics experiment at home. But let's just see what it comes up with indoors. And many other things. And do I have access to? Yes. Tech tools, we've got a laptop, and experiment time, any. Let's see what it comes up with. It might not even give me an experiment with lithium batteries because it might be dangerous. Just give it some time. It's really thinking hard about a good experiment that it could give you. And don't press it again. If you press it again, it just starts again. So here we go. Lithium battery reaction experiment. Cool. So the objective of this experiment is to observe and understand the chemical reactions that occur when a lithium battery comes in contact with water. This experiment will teach children about the reactivity of alkali metals and the importance of proper battery disposal. That's cool. I didn't think about that. That's cool. I thought it was going to try and get us to blow stuff up, but no, don't worry about that. Materials, lithium batteries, small container of water, protective gloves, safety goggles, plastic tweezers, laptop for recording observations, and it mentions the safety precautions, and it's bolded these things. Also wear protective gloves and safety goggles when handling lithium batteries. Do not touch the battery with bare hands, and so on. And then it gives you the step-by-step guide to conduct the experiment. And then it's also given you some things, so further materials for science experiments. For future experiments, consider investing in the following science materials to enhance your child's learning experience. So it's given a science kit, so you can just do all the experiments in there. Goggles, magnifying glasses, so pretty cool. Yeah, I really like that tool. And the last tool, which is the one, it's in beta, still working on it to improve it, because this is probably the most robust, because people always want to create their own curriculums, and it's not a straightforward thing where you just get a small output and just go off with it. This is something that we're going to need to keep going in to fine tune to really get the most out of it. So questions take a bit longer to fill out, and I've given a bit more back information on how it works. So getting the information that you need to create your custom curriculum, and then how our AI analyzes the information you've given and comes up with a personalized curriculum. And there will be in future more flexibility for the different types of not just the different types of education standards, but the different curriculums. So there are methods, there are learning methods, like maybe you want to mix Montessori with Charlotte Mason, or another one of those other curriculums with your own stuff and your own models, your own ideas. You can then give it that. You can say, these are the learning styles that I'd like to blend. This is the focus I want, and it's going to come up with a curriculum. And then you can iterate on that. So ask some basic questions, the age of your child, their strengths and where they're looking to improve, their learning style. And again, you can just use the learning style assessment if you're unsure. And then it's got more questions focusing on the academic side of things. and the learning space and the environment. This is very important because some people might want to mention that we don't spend a lot of time around the table, so it gives you lessons that are geared towards that style, so outdoors and things like that. Or maybe you're a world schooler and you need to mention that these times of the year we're not home, so we're not at a desk, we're here, we're there, and it can work around that information. And then parental involvement, how hands-on do you want to be? Depending on the age of your child, you're going to, give it different information. And then just things that we might want to include if your child is in chess club or, any extracurricular programs, or again, if they are special needs and you need to mention anything, you put that in there and enter all of that information. Again, it's a longer form to fill out. So I'm not going to try and fill out hypothetical answers and then submit because it's going to take a while. But this is, again, still in beta, but you can go over there and give it a try. And of course, if you have anything, I don't have a form at the bottom. There's supposed to be a form at the bottom that you can fill in to let me know any improvements that I need to make on it, and I will consider those. So that's it. Those are how many tools? 5. There's 4 on here, and then the curriculum tool, which is in beta. And if you have any other ideas, I'm thinking of putting together I want to be able to create worksheets, an easy way to create worksheets, because at the moment it's not that easy. AI can come up with things for algebra, so worksheets where it's just giving you math word problems and things like that. Those are fine, but actual worksheets for different ages, that's something that I'm working on. And that's it. Those are the tools I've created. If you want to check them out, head over to phoenixhomeed.com. You can go straight to phoenixhomeed.com/resources if you just want to land on this page. But if you want to check out any of the other things, the blogs or anything else I've shared, then head over to phoenixhomeed.com.